Hello everybody, I am continuing my space adventure. Oops, sorry.
Cancelled. NMLA attacks superpowers. The conference in the Sirius system has ended prematurely after terrorist bombings against 9 starports across the Alliance, Empire and Federation. Sirius Corporation confirmed that the cancellation was due to fears that Patterson Enterprise Station may be the next target. All scheduled business, including finalizing the Sirius Treaty, has been halted. The delegations are returning to their home systems under high security. Temporary permits for the Sirius system will remain in place for 1 week. Pilots who contributed to the security and trade initiatives held in partnership with the Empire can collect their rewards at the Spirit of Laylabs. Core Dynamics, Gutermeyer and Lakon Spaceways will continue to offer a 10% discount on all their ships for 1 more week. The Neo-Marlinist Liberation Army has claimed responsibility for the simultaneous attacks in 9 systems, including superpower capitals Akana, Alien, and Sol. The following message was broadcast on NMLA propaganda channels. I no longer have a name, nor a family, nor a future, each taken by the Empire. Now all I have is the dehumanizing number printed on my uniform in their torture chambers. Now all I am is Peter 7. The Alliance and Federation's rulers have revealed themselves as imperialist supporters of the Duval dynasty, which has crushed our ideals for 1,000 years. Peoples of the galaxy, you can change this. We give you your own 9 martyrs. Use them to retake control and regain your power. Media news feeds are detailing the impact and implications of the attacks. There is speculation that NMLA activists were concealed among Marlinist refugees that fled to Alliance and Federation space to escape imperial persecution. The Marlinist Parliament has officially stated it has no connection to neo-Marlinist extremists, and that it will cooperate with security and emergency services during this crisis. 9 starports hit by terrorist bombings. Pilots Federation alert. Explosions have struck starports across the Alliance, Empire and Federation in a coordinated bombing attack by the NMLA. The capital systems of all 3 superpowers, Akana, Aelios and Sol, have been targeted by the terrorists, as well as 6 other high population systems. Precise casualty numbers are unavailable, but several 100,000 people have been killed with many more injured. There are urgent calls for independent pilots to rescue survivors and support repair operations at all 9 locations. Doors Hub in the Akana system, Donaldson in the Aelios system, Corporation's CEO Li Yongrui announced, "Our thanks to the Federation for organizing additional security against unexpected numbers of vessels this past week. Anarchic extremists, political enemies and opportunistic criminals all attempted to disrupt the conference to no avail. Pilots who helped maintain the peace can collect their rewards in the spirit of Laylaps. For the coming week, we are working with the Empire to maintain the security operation by offering bounties on all wanted recent Thargoid attacks. Shockingly, several delegates dismissed this as an internal matter for the Alliance. The Federal Times. Chancellor Blaine's stonewalling on the co-funding of humanitarian aid brought a rare flash of anger from Felicia Winters. Maybe the Emperor's puppet could loosen a few strings? The Sovereign. Despite Prime Minister Mahone exaggerating the benefits of Alliance membership, several independent ambassadors complained about its incomprehensible bureaucracy, saying it would be less damaging to declare war against the Alliance than join it. A representative from Sirius Corporation reported that the Galactic Summit was going well. Historic meetings at the Galactic Summit. Alliance, Empire and Federation leaders have held their first ever face-to-face discussions at the diplomatic conference in the Sirius system. Political correspondent Conrad Sterling published this report for Vox Galactica. The Galactic Summit has already made history by bringing together many political figureheads within one conference chamber. Optimistic opening statements from Chancellor Anders Blaine and Prime Minister Edmund Mahone gained applause. President Zachary Hudson was more curt, reminding everyone that billions of people would be affected by their efforts. Agendas and debate topics for the next 3 weeks were formalized. Much of the work will be done behind the scenes by ambassadorial staff, making big decisions in small rooms. The general tone so far has been courteous, although that may not last. Predictably, interactions between the Imperial and Marlinist delegations have been frosty, with Senator Denton Patrias refusing to even acknowledge their presence during discussions. However, First Minister Jenna Fairfax enjoyed a more cordial meeting with Shadow President Felicia Winters. They were joined by Jasmina Halsey, who has accompanied Winters from Mars in an unofficial capacity. One notable absentee was Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester, whose family is under legal scrutiny following the crimes of his older brother Jupiter Rochester. This at least spared Jordan the awkwardness of having to formally greet his ex-fiancée, Princess Aisling Duval. But it's likely there will be no shortage of tension between other delegates in the coming weeks. Galactic Summit begins with defense request. Pilots Federation alert. The Federation is working with Sirius Corporation to offer bounty hunting opportunities to protect the diplomatic conference. The first Galactic Summit has officially opened at Patterson Enterprise Station in the Sirius system. Temporary permits have been issued to all arriving delegates and commanders for the 3 weeks of its term, although these do not apply to fleet carriers. Sirius Corporation's CEO Li Yongrui announced, "The data supplied to us in January revealed several unanticipated threats, putting additional strain on our Navy and security forces. Working with the generous support of the Federation, we have placed bounties on all wanted ships to ensure delegate safety. Pilots defending the Sirius system will be rewarded for handing in bounty vouchers at the Spirit of Leylaps. The joint initiative will run for 1 week, after which Sirius Corporation will partner with the Empire to provide for the needs and security of the conference." In related news, Core Dynamics, Gutermeyer and Lakon Spaceways are celebrating the political gathering of all 3 superpowers with a 10% discount on their ships during the next 3 weeks. Delegations have begun to arrive and formal introductions are taking place, with much media attention. This is the first time that universally recognized figures such as President Zachary Hudson, Prime Minister Edmund Mahone and Princess Aisling Duval have been seen side by side. Rare goods received for political delegates. Pilots Federation alert. A wide range of luxurious food and drink for the Galactic Summit has been delivered to the Sirius Corporation. Orders were placed for Eden Apples of Ariel, F-Grease Tea Buds, Duration Goose Beer, Giant Irukama Snails, Goman Yorpen Coffee, Kazuki Locusts and Lathian Brandy. Large quantities of these rare items were shipped to Ashby City in the Loyton star system. The consumables will be ferried to the nearby Sirius system, where the diplomatic conference will take place. This initiative was considered a priority, since some delegates only agreed to attend if their requests for these rarities were met. CEO Li Yongrui has expressed his personal thanks to all pilots who delivered the rare goods, who can now collect their payment at Ashby City in the Loyton star system. Sirius Corporation has been organizing the Galactic Summit for the past month, which has involved increased freight runs into its home system as well as heightened security. Preparations are now complete, and the first ambassadors from the Alliance, Empire and Federation are on their way. Alliance protests triggered by cancelled election. The postponement of the election for a new Prime Minister has led to widespread public disorder across Alliance systems. The Alliance Assembly vote was scheduled for Thursday the 25th of February. This date clashed with the start of the Galactic Summit, causing incumbent Prime Minister Edmund Mahone to propose that the election be delayed for 3 months. On many Alliance worlds, large-scale protest marches have placed pressure on local police forces. Some civil leaders have condemned Mahone for using the diplomatic conference as an excuse to extend his term of office. Mahone has referred to the unrest as being caused by a vocal minority of agitators and insisted that the delay is in the Alliance's best interests. Councillor Nakato Kane, Mahone's main rival, has given the protests her full support. She has become a figurehead for public dissent, with some political pundits suggesting that she might have won the election had it been held this week. Speaking to the Alliance Tribune, Councillor Kane said, "This is the latest
Surface scan complete.
in a string of short-sighted decisions, and it's clear that the people no longer trust their Prime Minister. For this reason, despite believing the Galactic Summit to be a waste of time, I will be attending the conference to ensure that Mahone's agenda does not dominate proceedings." Hudson and Winters confirmed the Galactic Summit. President Zachary Hudson and Shadow President Felicia Winters will both attend the diplomatic conference in the Sirius system. The Federation will also be represented by ambassadors from the Federal Diplomatic Corps, as well as several civil and corporate interests. Political correspondent Sophia Trevino reported for the Federal Times, "President Hudson's personal presence at the Galactic Summit sends the message that he still holds the reins of power. He clearly hopes that facing off against the Empire's leaders will distract the public from the recent Jupiter-Rochester scandals. In his absence, Vice President Bram Mitchell will oversee congressional matters. There are rumors that Mitchell is positioning himself to challenge Hudson as the Republican Party candidate in the next election. The conference also offers opportunities for Felicia Winters to appear presidential. She has eagerly agreed to meet the Marlinist Colony's delegation, having coordinated humanitarian aid for the refugees last year. Winters has not asked Shadow VP Isolde Rochester to accompany her, perhaps as a rebuke for the criminal actions of her son. Furiously working on
Surface scanned by 50%.
damage control for her family's name, the Rochester matriarch has taken Jupiter's 2 children into her care after his husband, Thomas Turai, filed for immediate divorce. Lakon Spaceways HQ moves to Alioth system. Pilots Federation alert. The capital system of the Alliance now hosts Lakon's administrative hub and offers a 5% discount on its ships. The company's main offices have been relocated to the Lakon Spaceways Central Planetary Port on Alioth 1A. All shipyards within the Alioth system are offering a permanent 5% discount on sales of vessels manufactured by Lakon. Pilots will need to obtain a permit for Alioth to take advantage of this reduction. Both the move and the discount reflect the Alliance's recent purchase of a majority sharehold in the company. This was primarily to retain it as a key defense contractor for the Alliance Defense Force. Naomi Landseer, chairperson of the board of directors, announced, "We are extremely pleased to be partnered with the Alliance, especially after recent tumultuous events. Lakon's highly regarded ships will remain available across the galaxy. The attempted takeover of Lakon Spaceways by Core Dynamics was revoked due to revelations of illegal practices by its former CEO, Jupiter Rochester. Federal news sources have reported that a rapid restructure is taking place within Core Dynamics, alongside investigations by the Federal Intelligence Agency." Rare goods required for Galactic Summit. Pilots Federation alert. Sirius Corporation has requested deliveries of consumables to Luyten Star for the forthcoming diplomatic conference. The Galactic
Surface scan complete.
summit will take place in the Sirius system and last for 3 weeks, beginning on Thursday the 25th of February. It will be attended by leaders from the Alliance, Empire and Federation, plus representatives from independent systems. Sirius Corporation has placed orders for these rare commodities: Eden Apples of Ariel, Edgrease Tea Buds, Duration Goose Beer, Giant Irukala Snails, Goman Yorpen Coffee, Kasuki Locusts and Lavian Brandy. All shipments are to be delivered to Ashby City in the Luyten star system. They will then be ferried to Sirius before the conference begins. CEO Li Yongrui discussed these preparations at a media event. We will provide all honored delegates with a comfortable...
Hello. So I thought I'd just let Galnet complete before I start talking. I am exploring and we found some interesting planets to fire probes at. Well, big news in the world of Elite Dangerous. Terrorist attacks and yeah, it's pretty much all happening right now. Annoyingly, I'm nowhere near anywhere to be able to rescue anyone, so that's a bit lame, but never mind. As always, with these gas giants with rings, I don't even bother trying to get the efficiency bonus. It's really hard, and I just... would rather just fire probes at it willy-nilly until it's completely found, discovered, mapped, that's the word I'm looking for. So, the ship has been named Mr. Krabs. Just lob a bunch of probes out there so we can map half the planet without actually... They all pretty much landed in the same place. That was an intergalactic waste of time. Kinda wish I'd bought mining equipment, never mind.
Surface scan complete.
Right. Let's go to these two metal worlds now. Might land on one. Whew. Getting a little bit of lag at the moment. That's okay. Yeah, unfortunately I'm miles away, so I can't actually go and help anyone. If I was in the bubble, I'd be there right away. Alas, I am not. Let's have a little look at Mr. Krabs, shall we? Named by Tango Down. Thank you, Tango Down. Because it kind of looks like a crab. Or she. Most ships are female. Don't know why that is. It's an interesting tradition. There's the cabin. I love the design of this ship. It's really cool. So I actually do have weapons on it this time. I didn't put weapons on my last exploring ship, which is why I only have a jump distance of 33 light years. However, it was planned that way. I think I'll see more by having to jump 350 plus jumps, 366 to be precise. So, and that's just to get to a star in the middle of nowhere. Oh, there's the star. Amazing. Let's concentrate. Now I can actually land on this one, so I might do, but I'm going to map it first. Oh, I got new glasses today. They're kind of massive frames and nice big lenses, so I can see and there isn't blank spots at the corner of my eyes. A little bit too slow there. Too fast. I look far away, I think. That's more like it. Does it have anything on it? Yes, it does. I'm going to land in on the light side. I prefer to land on the light side. Oh, all the geologicals are on. Oh no, there's one. We'll go on that one. Ooh, look at that crater. Nice. Oh, that's the one I thought I had selected. Okay, whoops. This interesting dark band of material. I wish we could probe it. I'm an alien. I can't see what speed I'm doing. 47. Let's come away a little bit. Here we go. Still over 1,000 kilometers though, so I'll stay quite high. Craters. Wow. It's pretty cool. Orbital, we'll enter cruise in a minute. I believe it's 25 kilometers. There we go. Not quite then. Oh, those creeks always make me nervous. We're coming down. Dive bomb. Ooh. What's the gravity? 1.5. Okay. Now we crashed the other day. That was a little bit close.
Landing gear deployed.
And we're down. Oh. Don't know why that happened. There we go. I think I pressed down on the lateral thrusters, vertical thrusters a little bit hard there. Let's see what we've got here then. High gravity. It's half a G more than normal. It's not that bad. Ooh. What have we here? This planet's quite red as well. I wonder if it's got lots of iron in it, like Mars. Begin the scan. Wait. There we go. Ooh, what did I discover? Sulfur dioxide. Fumarole. Okay. Oops. Whoops. Molybdenum? Not sure how you pronounce that one. I do wish you could gather things. Ooh, yttrium. Yttrium? Who knows how you pronounce that one? Zirconium? Wee. Ah, iron. Okay, no new traits discovered. That's okay. What have we got here? Two lots of iron. Nice. Whoa, dust cloud. Oh, I thought that would have resulted in something new, but apparently not. Oh, magic music. Does that mean I have discovered something? Some more of that stuff. Okay. Oops. it's not selecting the... Oh, there we go. Oh, now it selects it. Squeak. Yeah. Okay. Right, my dinner is ready, so I'm going to take a quick break and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.